Yo, said cash in the motherfucker.
Yeah.
I know you gotta deal. What's in that bag? I'ma get it, get it. I will lock down with no time on my sentence. What's on your time? Ain't no watch it, ain't renting. Been looking forward, looking back. I put in work, I want all of that. I fucking hurt her like brain damage, yeah. We stick together like a PlayStation, yeah. We not the same, I slip on some talent. I know me some green, but I'm not talking salad. Don't pushing weight like a nigga from Cali. Fuck my opponent, we eat all that cabbage. Keep me a trip just in case he was laughing. We not the same, can't kick it no more. Drop off a pack to a big man roll. Looking at my time and I know I gotta go. Looking at my time and I know I gotta go. Looking at my time and I know I gotta go. Big bank roll, I'm a nigga no hoe. I look up to God, they shit that I'm fearing. I got 2 daughters, I hope that they hear me. In the morning I be taking that semi. Life is a bitch, but I know I'ma finish. Take advantage of the shit on the table. Stable enough to go eat with a label. They cannot sign me on that with that faking. I demonstrated on how you get paper. Separated like I know I will love. Mama told me don't be breaking the law. I was prepared to go see what it called, but them crackers were taking my little niggas off. R.P. Ray got me wishing you down. I got your brother, I gotta take care from them times you was down. Like the blunt in the air, plus I look at your brother, I know that you down. No, you can't feel me, cause you are not perfect. No looking back, cause this shit it might hurt you. I used to sleep on the couch, that for certain. I pop a perk and hope that it working. I ain't really with that weird shit, y'all. Young nigga really pop weird, man, y'all. What's in that bag, I'ma get it, get it. I'm not down with no time when I send it. What's on your time, ain't no watch it, ain't running. We're looking forward, looking back. I put in work, I want all of that. I fucking hurt her like brain damage, yeah. We put together like a PlayStation, yeah. We not the same, I slip on some talent. I want me some green, but I'm not talking salad. I'm pushing weight like a nigga from Cali. Fuck my opponent, we eat all that cabbage. Keep me a trip just in case he was laughing. We not the same, can't kick it no more. Drop off a pack to a big man room. Looking at my time and I know I gotta go. Looking at my time and I know I gotta go.
And I know I gotta go.
That's Cash Lingo.
All my wrist rolls. Turned up, don't give a fuck. Getting chicken, water whipping, flipping. Hold on, talking my shit, hold on. Stop playing with me, man. My name Jersey, you heard? But I'm on the south.
Yes, sir. That is Cash Lingo. Cash with the money sign. The letter S is a money sign now on all platforms. Time on my sentence. Well, I'm Ali Hoodstar 365, and this is Respect the Game, the podcast, episode 215. And today's podcast, we're going to be discussing the gun laws in America in 2023. And should the gun laws, well, I believe personally that the gun laws should be updated to meet the times that we're presently living in. Because the times that we're presently living in 2023 is a real violent society. So when you walk out your door, you are in danger of being violated or harmed by someone with a gun. So why can we, isn't it our constitutional rights to bear arms to protect ourselves? So I made this comment on my social media. Shout out to Say Cheese TV. He posted something and I made a comment concerning this topic, and I'm getting a lot of notifications of people responding to my comment. It's brought up a conversation, which is good. Because, conversation and dialogue and communication is always good. That we need more of this within our society, right? Because nowadays people don't want to talk. People just pull out their guns and start shooting and killing and just extremely violent, right? You see it all day long on social media. What's on the Explorer page or the FYP page? Violence. Violence sells. Trauma sells, right? So you feel vulnerable. Somebody's breaking into your house, and because you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to have a gun. You can't protect your home. You can't protect your children. You can't protect your property, right? So my point in my statement was this. Okay, you made a mistake. You committed a crime. You got arrested. You got sentenced. You go, you do your time. You go, and then you come home. You're on parole or you're on probation. You complete it. You pay your fines. And then let's say you stay out of trouble. You become a model citizen. You become a productive citizen in today's society. and you're paying your taxes and you're doing all the right things, right? So why can you, after completing all of this and you're doing the right thing, you're on the right course and you're no harm and no threat to society anymore, why can't you go and apply to become a gun owner? To become a gun owner so you can protect your property, protect yourself, protect your family. Why? Why not? Why is it because you've been convicted of a crime? Why does because you've been convicted of a crime? Why? Because you've been convicted of a crime and you serve your time. Now, you've been convicted of a crime and you serve your time. You serve your time, right? And you've been convicted of a crime and you serve your time and you're doing good and you're paying taxes and you stay out of trouble for 5 years. So why can't you go and apply, to purchase a gun to protect your home or to conceal and carry? Why not? This is 2023. This is not 1960s. Now we have kids within our society with machine guns. Handguns with switches, converting them to machine guns, basically, is what it is. Right? So this is the discussion this morning. My notifications, I must have had over 150 notifications on my IG posts where people are saying, no, if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed, you shouldn't be allowed to get a gun forever. Like, what? If you are convicted of a crime and you do your time, and then after you do your time, you pay your fine, you finish probation and parole, and you're being a model citizen, and you're paying your taxes, and you're living according to the laws, then why can't you go and apply to get a gun permit after 5 years? We should change the law to that. I think if everybody was allowed to just carry, openly carry too, openly, not conceal, openly carry your gun on your waistline, or on your person, that'll deter crime. That'll deter robberies. That'll deter bank robberies. That'll deter crime, period. Because everybody's going to be like, well, damn, I can't just run up on him because he's vulnerable. He doesn't have a weapon, but I do. So I can go up to him and violate him or violate her, put a gun to them, throw them in the car, tell them go to the Mac machine and tell them give me the pen to the Mac card. And if they don't, then I'm going to shoot and kill them or I'm going to hurt their kids. So, I need to know what you guys think about that. Do you think it's time to change the gun laws? You believe that because you make a mistake and you commit a crime and you get caught and you get arrested, that should be a life sentence for you, like for you not to be able to protect your family? We all have a constitutional right to protect ourselves, to bear arms. So I'm not understanding, like why we got to be given a life sentence. Because of something we did 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. You know how they say, I'd rather be judged by 6. I'd rather be judged by 12 than be carried by 6. Well, that's real in urban America. A lot of people have opinions. And I clicked on your name, the ones who be making all these negative comments and being Twitter fingers, right? Talking slick all in the comments. Well, I click on your page and I see who you are. You look like you're a suburban. You're of upper middle class or even up in the wealthy section. And you're making these derogatory, not really derogatory, but comments like talking down. You're not living within the struggle. You're not living within the zone of being violated. Like you over there in the gated community, or see, everybody think they're safe. No one is safe anymore. No one is safe anymore. Anybody can get it. Look at these 3 rappers that they got booked to go perform at a show in Detroit. It's been almost 2 weeks ago now. They arrived there. When they get there, they said the show's been canceled. And from that point on, they disappeared. They're nowhere to be found. 3 different families, 3 different artists, right? 3 different families, 3 different cell phones. Cell phones stopped pinging. They are completely vanished. Now imagine if they had a gun on them and somebody comes up to them to violate them or to kidnap them or whatever happened to them. They were able to pull out a gun and start shooting to protect themselves, to get out of there. Or for a woman that's walking out of a shopping center, going to a car and a van pulls up, and you know how they slide open and grab the women and kidnap the women? Well, if the woman had a gun on her, she can pull a gun out and just start shooting to protect herself. Now, oh, wait a minute, I'm a convicted felon from 7 years ago. I don't have a gun. I can't protect myself, so I gotta die. I gotta be kidnapped so they can steal my organs and sell my organs. Now my daughter's gonna be motherless. My kid's gonna be motherless, and my husband's gonna be wifeless. Oh my goodness, I couldn't protect myself. Or you're walking down the street with your kids and somebody just pull up and start grabbing at your child to take your child from you. There's nothing you can do but scream and holler, "Hey, God!" And then they're gone. Because it only takes seconds, if that. So we need everybody to start speaking up on that. You know, reach out to your state congressmen, your state senators, your city, your mayors, and your governor of your state, and let them know that it's time for change all the way across the board. Crime and violence is at an all-time high. Right now, you are more destined to be kidnapped, carjacked, robbed, shot, and killed by the age groups of 13 to 16. 13 to 16-year-olds are the ones committing the most violent crimes right now in America, and that's gun violence. And why is that? Because they have been all programmed to be desensitized, to have subconscious or consciousness to reflect on their actions and what their actions and consequence become. You know, their reality. They're not in tune with reality because of the gaming system and the music that they're listening to has brainwashed our children. And I said this years ago. I said, yo, this gaming system is the most evilest thing they created for our children. Because I said, give it 15 to 20 years, and those kids are going to grow up. They're not going to have those type of feelings. They're going to be so cold-hearted because they sit in their rooms and they sit there playing video games all day long of killing, shooting and killing, and like what's that? Car Theft Auto. That game. I remember like about 7 years ago when I used to go to my boy's house, let him may he rest in peace, because he died from senseless gun violence. And he used to sit there and play Car Theft Auto. And he wouldn't even play it how, to play it right. You know, he wouldn't go according to the game to try to accomplish goals and do this and do that. He used to go the opposite direction of the game and be in shootouts with the police. And that was his thing. And he used to fucking play that shit for hours. He's like, watch this, and go to cars and open the door and pull the person out, carjack the person, drive up the wrong side of the street, and when the cop pull up, he'd get out and start shooting at the police. I was like, yo, why are you playing this game like that, dude? That's fucking evil. Why are you playing that game like that? You're not even playing the game the right way. Like, what's the fucking point, dude? And sure enough, here it is. 15 years later, the age group between 13 and 16 years are the ones that you see on the news every day. I know up here where I'm at, in the tri-state area, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and New York City, right? That's all you see every day, all day on the news. In fact, they have sensationalized it. You know, they have monetized trauma. They have monetized the pain and the trauma that's within our communities. And then people that live outside our communities, then they're the ones who are making the laws and the bylaws and upholding them and it's continuously oppressing us, and it continuously brings pain, and we're not protected. We're not protected at all. You know, it's like open season, duck season to us. We're only respected if we can shoot a basketball or catch a football or throw a football or hit a baseball, or you could box, or you could rap, or you could sing, or you could dance. But you're not respected if you're just a civilian. Get up in the morning, send your kids off to school, go to work, come home, make dinner, bring your kids home, secure your family, tuck them in. Next day, the same thing, and then we're not respected or protected. Anyone come in and violate that, and you don't have the right to defend yourself according to that. That's not okay. Now you have to go and buy a gun off the street, you know, underground in the black market to keep a gun so you can protect you and your family. You know, taking the chance every day that you can get pulled over and they can find a gun on you, and now they're gonna lock you up and take you away from your family because you're in possession of a weapon as a convicted felon. You weren't committing a crime. I can see if you're in the act of committing a crime, you know, like you robbed somebody, or now you're in a car chase with the police, or you're doing a drug transaction, you know, of course. Then of course you should go to jail, go to prison for that. But if you actually just have the gun and you just have it in your car or on your person just for personal protection, right? You just got it for personal protection. And they want to send you off to prison. Like this rapper who just got locked up. They just sentenced him to 7 years for holding a gun in a music video. That's extreme to the fucking third power, man. That's what you call doing too fucking much. He's an entertainer. It might have even been a prop gun. But he was just sentenced to 7 years. I see if you violate him and you go through the process and then you spit him back out 6 to 9 months and you put him back out on parole or even an ankle monitor to let him know as a reminder, like, yo, you can't do that. But to sentence him to 7 years like that, like he committed another crime, like he went and shot somebody, or right? They were filming a music video. He's an established professional recording artist. And that's the image, right? That's what they sell every day. That image and that everyday conduct is what's feeding America today. It's what keeping America afloat financially, right? Mass incarceration, mass deaths, mass hospitalizations, people needing surgery so they can go in there and find a bullet all throughout your body and see where you get a scar from here all the way down to your fucking bottom of your stomach, and they open you up and they look through all your organs and see what the bullet has damaged. And what that does, that equates to money. To the doctors, the nurses, the administration of the hospitals, to the police officers, to the judges, to the lawyers, the parole, probation, the cafeteria workers and the food suppliers, the uniform suppliers, the shoe suppliers. Everything has to do with that overall system, right? Everybody's getting paid off of the trauma. So, like our constitutional right says that we should all have the right to bear arms to protect not only our personal self, but our home, our properties, and our loved ones, our blood. So I agree with that. You know, of course, they put stipulations in there. All right, once you complete your sentence and you've done your probation, you've done your parole, and you paid your fines, then okay. And then after 5 years after that date, the last day when they release you and say, yeah, you've done your job, whatever. And then 5 years after that, you should be able to apply to become a gun owner to protect you and yourself and your family and your property. Do you agree or you disagree? If you agree, Contact your local senator and your local congressman and your local councilman, your local mayor and governor, and let them know it's time for change. I think doing that would definitely curb the violence. Because today's children or kids are not yesterday's children or kids. These kids are desensitized. Subconsciously, they do not have, like, that's an empty space in their brain, and that's from gaming. The way they don't realize that their actions brings consequence, right? Look at this one teenager who killed somebody, and he just been sentenced. He just got sentenced for fucking murder because he was a juvenile. He just got sentenced to fucking 3 years, bro. Is that crazy? He stabbed somebody to death. Or he stabbed a girl, his ex-girlfriend, to death. And he only got 3 years. I know as a parent, I'll be fucking pissed. I'll be waiting till the day that motherfucker get out. He won't be fucking living long after that. Ha, 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 ha. 3 years my ass, and you better do 15 or better. Even that 15 ain't enough. Are you fucking kidding me? All right, so moving along. We're going to keep this thing going. This is Respect the Game, the podcast, episode 215. You can catch us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, and all major media platforms concerning podcasts. And I'm on YouTube too, so you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Hoodstar365 TV Radio. And we're sponsored by Hoodstar World Streetwear brand. So go get the brand, check it out. These are the new logos for the brand, right? They got the snapbacks, the tees, the hoodies. So that's our sponsor, Hoodstar World, negative to positive, right? Because it is a Hoodstar World, right? Because everything that comes from the hood, that's great. Athletically, entertainers and all that the world worship and is idol worshiping, and it comes from urban America, the hood. So go support Hoodstar World right now. Let them know I sent you. Free shipping for any orders over $150 in the United States. Any orders overseas, and of course you have to pay for shipping, because that shipping cost overseas is way too high. Yeah. We're going to commercial break. We be right back. What's up? How do you add people to the live? Huh? How you do it? How I add people to how I add people to this? Oh. Let's try to figure it out. Can't figure it out right now, so I gotta take a back seat, bro. Excuse me.
No, it is the lazy flow.
It is that lazy flow. Yo, this is Rockstar.
Everybody wanna be a gangster, but they not though. Everybody wanna be athletic, but they not though. Everybody wanna be built like this, but they not though. You ain't really cutting, I can tell, cause your partner from exotic cars, exotic clothes, exotic smooth, yeah. That brother look the same, cause he done changed on radio. And ain't no room for my own way, my own lane. Let me drive the boat. Get high, hit the boost, spit propane, and after that I'm going.
Driving on my own.
So for me, while I feel alone, I place it on my phone. And someone I can call it, but it's hard for me to move. Yes, again, we tryna get you back.
Yes, sir.
Yes, again, we tryna get you back.
is that cut like that? Okay.
But it's hard for me to move. That's the game we trying to get you back.
Yes, sir, that's Quarkstar. That record is out right now, all platforms. It's called Slow Flow. Welcome to Respect the Game, the podcast, episode 215. I'm Ali, Hoodstar365. You can go follow me on IG at Hoodstar365. And of course, you'll see all my other IG pages, Hoodstar365 TV Radio, Hoodstar World, Respect the Game podcast, Hoodstar365, the mixtape series, and the whole nine. Just Google me, y'all pop right up. Go support my multimedia platform. Also, I just created 3 ebooks real quick. I want to let you guys know I just created 3 ebooks. So if you click the link in the bio on my Instagram at Hoodstar365, you will see the 3 ebooks that I created. I created 3 ebooks. One is how to create a content creator app and monetize it. The other one is how to start a business, step-by-step guide. And the third one is how to become a professional recording artist. A step-by-step guide by who? E.A. Torres. That be me, Ali Hoodstar 365. Now, moving along to today's discussion and topic. We went over the gun topic, but we're gonna move on now. I want to send a special shout out to the governor of Florida, DeSantis, I believe his name is. Because it's been 2 weeks and all I kept hearing on the news is that he was a racist and he's this and he's that. And he doesn't want African American studies to be taught in the schools in Florida. So that was the narrative that was being broadcasted to us and to the world. So, of course, I was upset. Everybody who's people of color were upset. How are you going to fucking deny African American studies? And African American studies are the history of America. In fact, it's the history of the world. You know, Adam and Eve descended from heaven to Africa, the Africans, and then everybody who came out of that, which is the entire 8 billion people that's alive on this planet, are African descent, regardless of what you're claiming. Yeah, you black, bro. Yeah. But the reason why he rejected it is not because of African American studies, obviously. He spoke about it yesterday in a news conference, and he stated the facts of why he rejected that. Because under that package that they submitted to be taught in the schools, in that package is a section on queer theory. Now, what does you being queer or gay or the alphabet community have to do with African American history or studies? What does that have to do with African American history or studies? And then it had another section in there talking about how they're creating medication to give to children to transition children into gender change. Like, leave the kids alone. Kids are kids. Let kids decide what it is they want to do once they become adults. Kids don't know what the fuck they want to do, but if you feed them that information, I remember like 2 years ago, my son came home from school and he was using that word. He said that word at the table when I was about to eat dinner about binary or some shit like that. And I had to let him know, like, listen, God created man and God created a woman, Adam and Eve. And the reason why he didn't have to create Eve. He could have just sent Adam on earth. But he created Eve so Adam and Eve can get together and create children, right? And so now we have 8 billion humans on the planet that have been created ever since. He did not create Adam and Bill. He did not create Eve and fucking Cindy. He created Adam and Eve to create. So why are they pushing this agenda on our children? It's evil. It's pure evil. It's evil. So this is why he rejected that bill or that course to be taught within the Florida school system. Nope, no school system in America shall allow that to be taught in schools, period. That shouldn't even be taught in sex ed. I think, kids are questioning that. Like, oh, yeah. Oh, well, I'm gay. I'm look at Dwayne Wade's son. He's a child. What does he know about wanting to be a woman at fucking 12, 13 years old? He's a kid. He's just being influenced. And as a parent, you got to teach your children. It may be harsh. I'm like, yo, listen, you deal with that when you become an adult. Nobody is born that way. That's programmed into a child's mind. That's programmed. That's brainwashing. But I want to know what is the infatuation with America concerning this topic? Like, why is America and the people behind this movement or this agenda so concerned with, anus and penis? Like, those are all sins. Putting a penis in the anus is a major sin, first of all. Male on male, female on female is a major sin. I'm not saying it. This is God's words. For you Jesus lovers, these are Jesus' words. For Muslims, this is in Quran. For Jewish people, this is in the Torah. For Christians, this is in the Injil, in the Gospel. Right? So, me as a parent and as a man, I suggest to everyone, whoever you are, wherever you are, stop being fed through media or through social media and sit down. And, now you have your phone in your hand, so now you can do the research yourself and read books and read and seek knowledge every day. So you know who you are and what you're dealing with when you walk out your doors into this society, and protect your family from the evildoers. And when you see it and you hear it, make sure you reaffirm, to your loved one, your children, that, don't go for that. That's not according to what God prescribed for us. There is still a God, that God still exists. God ain't going nowhere. God ain't going nowhere. If anything was to go anywhere, it'd be humans themselves. If we continue at the course we're going to continue, God is going to fucking make the planet Earth and make humans extinct. And he'll replace us like he's done times before. Froze the planet, killed every living creature off, unfroze the planet, and created new creatures, right? Then created man. He's the most knowing, the most powerful, the king of all kings. And it's crazy that he states this in this text when he said that he created man different from any other creation and gave man subconscious to be able to think and problem solve. But then it will become a time when a man will become intelligent, so much so that he believes he's more intelligent than the creator himself, where the man will start inventing and getting technology and building buildings that reach the clouds of the first heavens, or planes that fly, or spaceships or objects or instruments that reaches the stars and start exploring the stars and other planets, right? To where now they believe and they think that they're more intelligent than the creator himself. That they know how many stars or how many planets or how many galaxies or how many suns and moons there are. No one knows but the creator himself. They built a telescope to say, oh yeah, this telescope can reach 30 billion miles into space. And space is infinite. The heavens are infinite. The galaxies are infinite. No man will ever know how many galaxies or how many stars or how many planets are actually out there. Earth sits in space like the peck of a bird's beak of the ocean. Even less than that. So you sit and you think about it, you contemplate, you're like, wow, I know I'd be like, wow, that is amazing. That we're nothing but, like me, I'm sitting here now in my studio recording this podcast, and I am nothing but a fucking piece of dust that could be wiped out in an instant, gone, could fall out. Right now, God can just take my soul out of my body. And you got to contemplate and reflect and sit down for a second and be like, what is truly my purpose? What is truly my purpose here on planet Earth while I'm alive? Like, is this my purpose? Speaking and sharing my thoughts and my wisdom and my knowledge with the world on my podcast, on my YouTube, on my Bingo app, my YouTube app, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and the whole everything else. Listen. What do you hear? I can hear my heart beating or my pulse. That's how quiet it is. And it's just me and my energy, me and my thoughts, me and my creativity. This is all because of who? Of my creator. He woke me up this morning and gave me another day to live, to be great, to send my energy out to the world, to send my wisdom out to the world, to share my wisdom and my knowledge with my children. In fact, I had a long discussion with my two daughters last night over dinner. And you know, it was a lecture, basically. I should have recorded it. I got to start recording when I get in those modes. Because that was another podcast, really. And that can help other families, the discussion we were having. And I was basically talking to them about what I'm talking to you about today. It's deflecting and protecting yourself from negative energy, from dancing with the devil. Just because this society says it's okay, is not okay within God's limits. God didn't say it was okay. He didn't say it was okay. So if he didn't say it was okay, then I agree. I say it's not okay. And I'm going to tell my children and my grandchildren and my loved ones, whoever come around me, that it's not okay. It's not all right. No, that is not acceptable. If you choose to do that, I love you, but I'm going to have to love you from a distance because that is not acceptable. I will not allow that into my space. So if that's your choice, then you take your choice and you go live your life. I love you from way over here. That's just, you know, the reality of it, because guess what? When we all fall down, we're dead, and a day of judgment comes, and we're all risen from the grave, we're all going to be standing there by ourselves, not with our mom, not with our dad, not with our boyfriends or girlfriends or your money or your property or your jewelry or your cars. It's just going to be you, and Jesus is going to be standing there and asking us the three questions, right? Who was your Lord? Who was your messenger, your prophet? And what was your religion? What did you believe in? What did you do? Let's check your good deeds and your bad deeds according to your life, the term of your life while you were living. What did you do your whole life? Every day, what were you doing? What were you doing every day? Were you doing more good, more bad? Right? We're all going to be judged according to that. So to me, I strive, you know, ain't nobody perfect, ain't nobody a priest over here. You know, I've done plenty of bad during my lifetime. But I believe I've done more good than bad during my lifetime, right? And I've always tried to share goodness with people. And I've always tried to, give good advice to people or share or feed people. Like whenever somebody's around me and I'm out and about and I go get something to eat, whoever that person that's with me, then they're gonna eat too. I'm not gonna go buy myself a sandwich and he gonna sit there and watch me eat a fucking sandwich. I'm gonna buy him a sandwich too, bro. What kind of sandwich you want, bro? Oh man, I ain't got it right now. Don't worry about it. I got you, bro. I'm not doing it because I'm riding him or her or I'm trying to impress. No, I'm doing it because why? I'm chasing blessings every day. Oh, I walk in the store and I open the door and I see somebody coming. They could be 30 feet away. They could be 30 feet away. And I'll sit right there and hold that door till that lady or that person walks in. That's my good deed for the day. Or when I see somebody, they're looking real down, they're like, when somebody's down, when somebody's not feeling well, or they're depressed, or whatever the case may be. It might have been death in the family, or whatever they got going on, right? Then I'll say, a kind word, even a good morning, or God bless you, or have a great day, or oh, I like your shoes. Oh, your hair is pretty. Oh, I like your jacket, or just to bring that good feeling, a smile. Because that one kind word that you say to someone, you might have just saved somebody's life. You might have just said, you might have just stopped a mass shooting. You might have just stopped a mass shooting, or a drug deal, or a bank robbery, or a kidnapping, or a carjacking, or a home invasion, or rape, and so forth and so forth. Or devil worshiping, right? Or committing the ultimate sins, right? Which are what? Murder, suicide, and homosexuality. Those are the three major sins, right? According to God and to Jesus in the text and the books of the holy books. And whatever your religion is, whatever it is whatever you into. But if you go and you read those books or those texts that you praying and proclaiming to be every day, you will see that in the text, right? So that one kind word or that one word or that one letter from any of the holy books that you share with somebody, and then they go on to use that in their life every day after that, when you share that information with them, that you get those blessings and it goes into your good deed basket every time that person does so. So we're searching and we're reaching to obtain more good deeds than bad deeds, right? So then the day of judgment, when we come and all the souls are risen up out of the grave and we're being judged, and then those good deeds and the bad deeds will determine how many days our feet will dangle in the fire, right? Or in the hellfire, or in the, with the devil, right? Because we're all going to get a taste of the heat. Nobody's perfect on this planet, right? So we're all going to dangle and feel it, right? But then there's a time that we get to dangle our feet and feel that heat, right? So it could be a day, or it could be 1,000 days. And a day can equal up to 1,000 days. See, so once you have that understanding, and then that knowledge, and then when you wake up every morning, you say, thank you, Lord, for waking me up. Thank you, God, for waking me up. When you're about to eat breakfast, thank you for providing this meal for me to start my day off, or this cup of coffee to start my day off. And then before you leave the house, oh God, please bring me back home safely today to my children, to my wife, or to my husband, whatever the situation you got going on, to my cats, or to my dog, right? Then before you go to bed, thank you, Lord, for this day. It was truly a blessed day, right? And may you wake me up in the morning and protect me from the evilness during the night while I'm sleeping. And while my family's sleeping, please protect us. You wake up in the morning, again, thank you. Thank you. I am truly humble for you waking me up this morning. For there's been millions of people across the world today that did not wake up. Just think about it. There's millions of people today that did not wake up or are not alive house fire or murder or, kidnapping, like, all the terrible shit that's going on within our society today, right? And you're here. You're on your phone right now. You're on social media. You're sitting here watching me. You're listening to me speak to you, right? That's truly a blessing in itself. You can see me. You can see me. Hey, you can hear me. What's up? Right? That's a blessing within itself. So we have to take heed, reflect, love yourself, right? Love God, love yourself, love your significant other, love your children, love your parents, regardless of what they do, right? And it'll be a better world. We'll just do that. And let's resolve conflict with communication, with dialogue. Let's stop resolving disagreement with violence, like Russia, Ukraine, and all the world leaders. Sit down, come to the table, negotiate like gentlemen, and ask, all right, what's the situation? What's your problem? All right, well, we don't want them to join NATO because if they join NATO, we got a problem with it, right? And then there's going to be too many countries around the world that's within NATO, and then you're going to put us, we're vulnerable now. All right, so let's come to a medium. What is it that you can provide? What service or goods, or what is it you can provide to the world that the world can purchase from you, and then you purchase from them what they can provide for you? And that's called being gentlemen, right? In trade. Not you go there and take all that shit, then bring it back to your country, and then charge people 10 times for what it was worth, and now you become the richest nation in the world, and then you want to keep coming back and doing the same shit, and meanwhile having your knees on their necks and they're poor as hell. It's 2023, man. Everybody has access to technology, especially now. AI technology is mind-blowing, bro. Like, you can create anything that comes across your mind with this AI technology. You know what they just discovered yesterday? With AI technology, it's like the movies, bro. A robot can break down into liquid form, finagle his way through space, right, into different rooms or whatever the case may be, and then come back together. It can break into different particles, right, to get out of whatever situation that it's trapped in, break into different particles, and then come back all together and form that robot once again. Like Terminator, that movie Terminator back in the day. Go watch that movie, man. Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was like 30 years ago, man. 35 years ago, some shit like that movie was. And here it is now that humans have discovered that technology, AI technology, right? And now they got it so much so that they building robots with the AI technology, and then they put the skin over it that looks just like a human, and it interacts and it does everything a human does. I said this was going to happen 3 years ago when I started my podcast. I said, before you know it, we're going to be able to purchase a robot, a human form, that can come in and play the role of your husband or your wife daily. Do the dishes, cook, wash clothes, clean the house, go to the store, go to work. In fact, that might even be already happening anyway. We just don't know about it. Them things are probably already amongst us. It's like, makes you go, phew, your mind, right? Humans playing God. Then they got these robot dogs that run around. Now they're gonna have those robots policing society. Pretty soon, a lot of police officers are gonna be out of jobs. Firefighters are gonna be out of jobs. EMTs and all that going to be out of jobs. Walmart workers are going to be out of jobs. Amazon workers out of jobs. All these jobs are going to be lost to the AI. Because with those police dogs they got now, they're gonna put guns on them, infrared and binoculars, 3D capabilities, night vision, and see-through structure vision, concrete wall, whatever it is. That system to where if you shoot a gun here, and then that system will be able to track when the gunshot goes out, and it picks up that sound, then the AI technology tracks that sound, pinpoint accuracy where the shot is, the cloud, the dust that bursted out into the shooter's hand, and then the technology follows that DNA on that shooter's hand or persons or gloves or clothes, right? And then it follows that person wherever he goes, and they come. You're surrounded. Put your hands up. Because now them little dogs got guns on them too. And they're gonna start locking up. It's gonna stop. It's gonna bring that this what's happening today, that drill shit and all this shooting and all that. It's gonna bring that shit to an immediate halt. Which I'm okay with, man. Because it's utterly fucking ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous where we are right now, especially in urban America. It's fucking dumb. These are kids, man. These are, like I said earlier, these are 13 to 16-year-olds that are doing this. They're shooting guns like this every day, all of America. Right? So we gotta reflect. Let's do better as a whole. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, Latino, Asian, whatever you are, you're human. Let's just do better according to God's laws. You don't have to be a religious fanatic. You just be balanced. Refrain from being extreme in any one way. Whatever it is you're doing every day, refrain from becoming extreme at that. Just remain balanced, Sprinkle. You know how when you season your food, when you go to eat your food, you put a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. But you know not to put too much salt because then the salt give you high blood pressure, or the salt give you a headache, or the salt mess the whole meal up, right? Or whatever else you want to add to the meal. So that's the principles of life too, and living. And then reaching the ages in your 60s and your 70s and your 80s, not fucking dying in your teens or in your 20s or your 30s. That's ridiculous. You didn't even get to live. You didn't even get to experience it. Like when I see people on the internet with these podcasts giving their opinions and they're like in their 20s. Giving their interjections on life or talking about relationships and all that. How the fuck you know about relationships? You're only in your 20s, bro. What are you talking about, man? What do you know about life, man? You're too young to be giving anybody any type of advice or any type of fucking anything. You're fucking wet behind the ear. You're just talking to be fucking talking, bro. And starting this debate with women. The thing you guys got going on with the debate with the men and the women, like that is fucking stupid. That's dumb. That's not progressing anything, right? Because the ultimate goal is to what? To join, a man and a woman to join in together and to create a hut and then to create children and to raise those children. You know what I mean? Children. With morals and respect and honor and knowing who God is. Your gaming system is not God. Your makeup kit or your BBL or your breast implant or your lip injection, your cheekbones and all that bullshit we got going on, your wigs and your weaves and your hair and glue and all that, stocking cap on your head and all that, that ain't got shit nothing to do with God, man. That's you fighting God's orders because he didn't create you to look that way. He created you the way he created you. He created you perfect. How he wanted you to be, that's how he created you. That's mental illness. That's letting society put pressure on you to look like whatever it is, the images that they're feeding the masses. I just seen a skit this morning off that on YouTube, the comedian Country Wayne, and there's a comedian on there. He's a new one. He's on Wild 'N Out. I can't remember his fucking name right now. Fuck. I didn't like him at first because I thought it was his comedy was kind of dry, but now I've been watching him and I get him now. So anyway, so this morning he was brushing his daughter's hair, right? So he was brushing her hair, and then she was like, "Ooh, Daddy, I like how you did my hair. It's beautiful. Thank you, Dad." He said, "Oh yeah, why you say that?" She goes, "Oh, because now I can go play in the playground with my friend." And he goes, "Who's your friend?" And then she named some little boy's name, and he goes, "But why you say that? Now you can go play now you can go to the playground and play with your best friend." Because she goes, "Well, why couldn't you go before?" "Oh, because he said that he didn't want to play with me or want me to go to the playground because my hair was nappy." So his dad said, "What do you mean?" He said that he didn't want to play with you because your hair was nappy. You know, he had her hair all up, done up real nice, pulled all up. So he said, "Oh yeah, that's what he said. Well, no worries, don't worry about it." So he took the brush, and started brushing real hard in the front and pulled all her bangs down. Then all her bangs curled all up and was curly. So then she was like, "No, I don't like that." He goes, "Oh, you don't like that? Here, look, let me see. See, it's beautiful. Daddy likes it. In fact, Daddy loves it." She goes, "Yeah, but I don't like it, and my best friend not gonna like it. Now I can't go to the playground tomorrow and play with him." And he goes, "No." So he don't like it? Well, that's good. I don't want him to like it. But guess what? Daddy likes it. Daddy loves it. And don't worry about what the world don't like about you. You be who you are. God created you the way you are. You're beautiful. Whether your hair is nappy, curly, long, short, you're bald headed, don't matter. God is the best of all creations. He is the best of planners. He is the all knowing, the all seeing, the all hearing. There's no one on this planet, no human on this in this society on this earth can dictate to you how you're living according to how God created you. You know, it was funny when I watched it, but then I felt it. I was like, damn, that's deep, man. He right. So I tell my daughter that all the time. Like my daughter's 12 now, you know? And then I bought her an iPhone 14, and she's always on her phone. Now, she's very real creative. I always taught her how to be creative. She knows how to record vocals. She knows how to, she's a videographer. She knows how to edit film. She knows how to do voiceovers. She knows how to rap. She knows how to draw. She knows how to paint. She knows how to print clothing, how to make clothes and all that. But I've been noticing lately since got her that phone, all she want to do is be on that fucking TikTok. So I told her last night in the talk, I said, "Listen, I'm going to start taking your phone from you. I'm going to take your phone from you, and you're going to have your phone a certain amount of time. When you come home from school, you're not going to be on your phone from the time you come home from school to the time it's time for you to go to bed. You're going to start being creative again. You got to start working this. This right here, what I built, a little multimedia studio that we have within our home. You're going to start working that so you can learn and create. So you can, when you become an adult, you don't have to work for anybody else. You can just work for yourself and be a boss. You can hire people to work for you. So you don't have to be in the rat race and have to go to work every morning and be redundant. Like then my other daughter, she lives here with me. She moved in with me. It's been 6 months now. And she's 27, right? And she's single. She has a job. So now I've been noticing her energy. When she comes home from work, she's like real sunken. And then she goes into her room. I've given her my room, the master bedroom to my home. I let her have my room when I moved into the room that she first moved into. And I said, no, you go ahead because you got way more stuff than Daddy. And you're my baby girl, and you can have my room. It's big room, walk-in closet, and it's spacious and all that. Daddy don't need all that. I'm cool. All I need, my room, when I go to my room, I just go there to lay down and go to sleep. From the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, I'm in my studio creating. Whether I'm making the merch, whether I'm recording a podcast, whether I'm making a mixtape, or I'm doing a YouTube, or I'm doing content for TikTok and all the social media platforms, or I'm doing yard work, or I'm working on the basement because I'm working on the basement right now. I've been sheetrocking and I gotta paint it. And then I gotta put some flooring down. That's my day every day. That's what my day consists of every single day. So I told them both yesterday. I was the lecture. Like, listen, when y'all come home now, you got like how she's feeling down. So you got to start seeking other avenues to put your energy in that direction. Don't just get caught up in the rat race where you just go to work and then come home, eat dinner, take a shower, and then go to sleep, and then do the next day. And then before you know it, 10 years go by, 20 years go by, 30 years go by, and now you're in your 50s. And then now you're about to hit your 60s. And then you wonder, well, damn, my life went by so goddamn fast, man. What the fuck? I was just working for other people, making other people rich, right? And now I got to beg this society for them to give me my SSI or my Social Security or my disability or my retirement. Or did they invest my 401 correctly? Do I have money in my 401? Are they telling me they're going to take my 401 and then I'm stressed out? You got people jumping out off of cliffs. You got people jumping out of high rises. You got people committing suicide. You got people being shot and killed on purpose because they're too cowardly to go kill themselves, right? So they want other people to do it for them because they can't deal with their reality. So this is what I'm teaching my youngest one. Like, listen, because I did it. And when I was a kid, my mom used to always tell me, because my mom was an entrepreneur, and she used to always tell me, and I was so fucking hard-headed and not listening to her, right? Being rebellious. I don't know why kids are so rebellious to their parents, right? And she used to always tell me, oh my God, please, you are so brilliant, you are so intelligent. Go start a business. Go to a community college. Take a couple business courses so you know how to run a business and start a business. Work for yourself. I was like, nah, mom, I'm gonna be an electrician. Nah, mom, I'm gonna be a construction worker. Nah, mom, I'm gonna be a truck driver. And then before you know it, 30 years went by. Then you reflect. Damn, I worked all those years, man, all that night work, night shift, cold as hell. Construction? Outside when it was 12 degrees. I remember one time it was 6 degrees, man. And I'm on the highway jackhammering. While you sleeping, it's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. My hands are numb. Elbows, my back, my knees, shoveling, making concrete, putting barrier down for miles, drilling the holes for the barrier, driving the pins for the barrier, mudding the barrier, laying pipe, drainage, running wire, all those years. Wiring homes, wiring condominiums, serving in the military, walked 1,000,000 miles, flew 1,000,000 miles, shot 1,000,000 rounds. Damn, that's a bar. All these things I did in my lifetime. Drove 1,000,000 miles, drove a truck, drove a dump truck, jackhammered fucking tons and tons of concrete, asphalt, stone. With all that being said and done, you still got to beg these motherfuckers for crumbs. So then I got the entrepreneur bug. It started in 2014 when I said, yo, I want to start my own record label. Everybody just laughed. Then I started going through that journey, going to studios and going to New York City and going to the studios and taking artists to studios and buying studio time and having artists record songs and then having that producer email me those songs. And I got those songs, I got all those masters of all those artists. Then I learned how to distribute music, right? How to put the music on Apple and Spotify and Tidal and Deezer and all digital music platforms, right? Then I learned how to publish the music, how to become a publishing company through BMI. And I established that. I got an LLC with the label, Hoodstar Entertainment, LLC. I'm on Apple Music. I got my artists. I got Cash Lingo. I got Quackstar. I got Tay Money, Shane Beasy, King Kai. And like the list goes on and on. I got all this music in the catalog, all this music on my publishing company. And then now I got the podcast. The podcast, this is episode 215. Then I got the mixtape series. I got 30 volumes of mixtapes of all indie artists on it, on our SoundCloud page at Hoodstar 365, the mixtape series. Then I created a radio station where all the radio station plays 24 hours of hip hop music of what? Indie artists, no celebrities. Well, you have some indie artists on there that were on my mixtapes who are now verified on Instagram, who are now professional recording artists. They're on Love and Hip Hop. They're on VH1. They're in movies. They're comedians and all that. All these people that my energy has touched, right? Our energy have crossed paths, and they're on my content, on my music, or whatever you got going, whatever I built, the energy that God gives me every day. So I've learned and created a digital footprint. So when I'm dead and gone, my footprint will still be here on this planet, right? So now my children and my grandchildren can always go back and look, like, oh look, this is my dad, or this is my granddad. This was him 30 years ago. He was sitting in his studio talking to himself and fucking recording it as a podcast. Just speaking, from his heart and speaking to the world, right? For 30, 40 minutes to an hour at a time. Not to degrade or to demean or to disrespect or not love, but to share my life's experiences, the good and the bad and the ugly, right? To share with the youngins and the old heads too, because it's never too late. It's never too late to change your being, right? That's what God has given us, right? As part of all his creation, he has given us the ability to have self-conscious and to problem solve and to become solutions, and then also to change, right? We could be bad today and be good tomorrow if we choose to, right? We could be godly today and be evil tomorrow. So this is what I want to share with the world. Nobody wants nobody to be evil forever, right? All right. So with that, man, I want to tell you, man, just stay positive. Take your negativity, turn it to positive. Just think, man, that things will always get better. Nothing ever stays the same. If you're going through bad times, if you're not feeling well, and you're not stable, and you're in a space of darkness, and you're in a space where you feel alone, and you feel like you don't have nobody that you can talk to, or nobody that will even listen to your conversation, just know that all you need is God. God is there. You may not see him, and you may not feel him, right? But trust and you believe that he's there. And we all have two angels that are with us daily. And they record our every thoughts and all our actions, and they write everything down. And every time we mention God's name, they write it down as all blessings. So once you come to that understanding where you can, realize that, right? And then it's like, they call it the insan. The word is insan in Arabic, but it's the unseen. But once you get to that realm and that understanding, you know, and you start to feel the presence of God, like right now, I'm getting chills, you know, speaking on this, right? And you have an understanding. So with that understanding, you, like me, I never feel, oh my God, I'm alone. Nobody loves me or nobody cares. No, I don't need nobody to love me and nobody to care because God does. See, that's the difference. God does. God does. And with that, that's all that matters. That's all I need. Before, I used to always be the star of the show. I was always the center of attention, you know, star athlete, you know, handsome. I had plenty of girls, womanizer, you know, children, money, cars, travel. You know, I did all that, right? That wasn't even important. That thing was just an experience, right? Going through life in those different chapters, just experiencing life. So now I'm able to sit and talk and reflect and share to what? To save you the heartache. Or to bring happiness to you. Like, yeah, go take a night class. When you come home from work, go to the community college. Community college is now free in New Jersey. I don't know about anywhere else. But you go to community college, take a course. Take 2 courses per semester and better yourself. Just because you're here today doing whatever it is you're doing today, don't mean you got to be doing that within the next 2, 3, 5 years. You could upgrade and change yourself. Like when I started working, when I got my first job when I came from the military. In fact, my first job when I first came home when I was in the service was I couldn't get a job. I was unemployed for 18 months. Can you believe that? Coming home, honorable discharge, serve my country, and everywhere I went and applied for a job, it was like, no, no. I was trying to become a state trooper, and then I was trying to become a local police officer, and the state had a freeze on hiring at the time. So no, 18 months. And then I took a job. My very first job was a security guard, and they were paying me $7.10 an hour at this building, a senior citizen building. And then my next job after that was $6.10. And then I went from that job, then went to another job which was paying me $12.10. And then it went to $16. Then it went to $18. Then it went to $21. Then it went to $25 an hour. Then it went to $28 an hour. Then it went to $34 an hour. Then it went to $38 an hour. Then it went to $42 an hour. Then it went to $45 an hour. Then it went to $48 an hour. And then that was the last job that I had. That was the rate that I was getting. It was like 47, 49, something like that an hour, $40 an hour. But I was not fulfilled at all. I was empty. I was just going up, go to work hard as hell, a night shift, then come home, send my kids to school, come home, come back home, take a shower, and go to sleep all day. Wake up at 2 o'clock, go pick the kids up at 3 o'clock, bring them home, feed them, secure the babysitter, and then go out to work at night again. And then before you know it, boom. All those years went by, man. Just think if I'd started what I'm doing now 15 years ago, I'd probably be a billionaire by now. But it wasn't according to God's plans. He didn't give this to me. He didn't give me this know-how, you know. Like everything that crossed my mind was like, well, how do you do this? I went on YouTube and said, how do I start a radio station? How do I start a mixtape series? How do I start a podcast? How do I print clothes? How do I print hats? How do I airbrush? How do I paint? How do I do sheetrocking? How do I paint? How do I do this? How to replace, how to do plumbing? How to do electrical? How to do, everything's on YouTube. Like now I'm messing with this AI, how to create an ebook. Oh shit, this how you do it? Oh, how to get your ebook on Amazon. Oh, the shit, this how you do it? Oh man, it wasn't even that difficult. I never knew that. Okay. So now I'm doing this, how to write a book. Because I want to write my story. I want to write a book. I want to get a book done. I want to write a book. I want to get a book done. I want to be an author and tell all my stories, and make it a book series. I need a manager. I need an agent because I want to do public speaking. I want to go talk to the kids, go to the juvenile centers, go to the middle schools, go to the high schools, go to the community college, go to the colleges, do a TED talk that share my life experiences. Teach sociology. Because, I qualify to be a sociology professor with my life experiences. So if you hear my podcast or you see me out there and you feel as though you want to become part of the team and you could take my platform to that level, then hit me up, man. Let's work. Let's get it. Get me on the road. Let's go get this. I got plenty of stories. Whatever topic you bring up, I got a story for it. Guaranteed. Whatever it is you said you did or you experienced, I got a fucking story for it. I did it. Guaranteed. 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 Whether it's dating, marriage, kids, prison, military service, college athletics, coaching, the whole fucking nine, bro. Podcasting, YouTubing, creating a clothing line, creating ebooks, mental health, religious, faith, who is God, what is God. There's a lot in my brain that God's given me. And I know that God gave me all this for a reason. So I'm not keeping the bottle in. I'm speaking on, I'm recording it, and I'm creating it into podcasts. So if whoever hears my podcast, you take the good out of my podcast and you apply it to your life. And then the bad, you just store it, put it in a database and store it over there as a reminder. Don't just forget about it. Keep it as a reminder, knowing that every action is a consequence, whether good, whether positive or negative, right? So we want to take all our bad, all our negative, and turn it to positive. Negative to positive. All right? So I'm Ali Hoodstar 365, and this has been Respect the Game, the podcast, episode 215. And I'm out. Peace. Hey, yo, don't forget, go subscribe to my YouTube channel at Hoodstar 365 TV Radio. Go follow me on Instagram at Hoodstar 365. Follow me on Bingo Live. I'm on Bingo Live, Hoodstar World. Go shop the merch at hoodstarworld.com. Hoodstarworld.com. Hoodstar World meaning negative to positive. It's a Hoodstar World. We run the world. We are the world. You guys are worshiping urban American athletes and entertainers that come from the hood. So it is a Hoodstar World. The music that you listen to every day, the clothes that you're wearing, the style, the hip-hop culture, and the whole nine. Do not be in denial. We are great. All right? So let's share the love. Let's respect and honor one another. And let's be kind. Let's be caring. Let's network. Let's build. And let's teach. Teach one, preach one. And my brother's keeper. And I'm out. Peace.